Hi everyone. Welcome to another edition of Have You Heard? I'm Richard, and this is another episode where we delve into my record collection and come up with a song that doesn't get quite the love that lots of other songs get on YouTube from this particular artist. And as you saw in the title, today we are featuring Renaissance, or as our friends in North America say, Renaissance. But I'm afraid I'm English. The album is called Scheherazade and Other Stories. Of course, you know that. And let's put that back. The track we're looking at is A Trip to the Fair, the opening track, side one, and a piece of music that I have so much love for, and it holds a very little, or a very big place in my heart. And I'll share that with you, I think, after the song. You don't want to hear me rambling on too much beforehand. But yeah, Renaissance get so much love, particularly on YouTube with Mother Russia, Ashes Are Burning, the live album at Carnegie Hall, all the great tracks on that. But this song, for some reason, doesn't get featured quite as much. And I don't know why, because it's my favourite of their whole catalogue. So let's have a listen to it first of all. We'll talk about it a bit more afterwards. But I hope you'll enjoy. Let's put the old headphones on and press the magic button here. John Tout on piano. Such a great intro. And the real sound of the fair.
I took a trip down to look at the fair. When I arrived, I found nobody there. It seemed I was all alone. Must be that they've all gone home. A trip to the fair, but nobody was there. A trip to the fair, but nobody was there. Voices of yesterday make not a sound. Even the roundabout stopped going round. I wonder just what it means. Is everything how it seems? A trip to the fair, but nobody was there. A trip to the fair, but nobody was there. A creak as the dodgems came onto the scene. Wheels began turning, I started to scream. A carousel swung around. My head spun and hit the ground. A trip to the fair, but nobody was there. A trip to the fair, but nobody was there. I closed my eyes to disguise the fear from inside. Trembling within my own mind, I find no place to hide. Stars of tomorrow shine through the gray mist that has gone. I wish that this trip to the fair had never begun. to be staring at me. Clowns laughed in the penny arcade. What was this game my mind played? I took a trip down to look at the fair. When I arrived, I found nobody there. It seemed I was all alone. Must be that they've all gone home. A trip to the fair, but nobody was there. A trip to the fair, but nobody was there.
Wow. It evokes so many pictures in my mind. I mean, the song's called A Trip to the Fair, but it really does sound like you're in a fair. Of course, Annie Haslam's vocals are peerless, aren't they? Has there ever been a better progressive rock female singer, or rock female singer, or rock singer full stop? Such a pure voice, and she adds so much to what already is a simply tremendous band. But they're so unassuming, aren't they? I mean, none of these theatrics that you get with the other prog bands. It's unassuming, it is tasteful. I think that possibly, I'm getting to think this, that maybe A Trip to the Fair doesn't quite get the love that other songs from Renaissance get, is that this particular track is very much the band, the five of them. They no great orchestral arrangements, none of the impressive stuff that you get on a track like Mother Russia, for example. It's very much the band playing. And once Annie's finished with her first part of vocals, it almost becomes a jazz quartet with John Tout on piano and electric piano, John Camp, the peerless John Camp, on bass, Terence Sullivan on drums, Michael Dunford on acoustic guitar, and they're basically playing a jazz quartet piece there. So tasteful and so imaginative. I just love this, and then Annie's back for the final flourish, and the whole fair-like dream, or is it a nightmare, that she's singing about. You leave that up to yourselves to think that one through. But I just love this band, and I love the album. And the reason I love it so much, or it has such a place in my heart, is that I heard it first on the radio, on UK radio on a Sunday night. It was, I think, if I remember back in the day, so it is 1975 and it was December, and I know this because it was the night before I flew to South Africa. I was emigrating to South Africa, and I was just finishing my last bit of packing, and I put the radio on, and I think it was the equivalent of what is now Radio 4 on the BBC, and they used to have a late night Sunday rock show, which you didn't get too much of that on BBC back in 1975. And two songs stood out while I was packing. One was A Trip to the Fair by Renaissance, and the other was Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen. I heard them both for the first time that evening. When I landed in South Africa, a few days later, I went to see what sort of records I could buy in South Africa, and I was able to buy them both, Scheherazade and the Born to Run album. But I just love this song. So what do you guys think? Do you like this particular track? Do you like this album from Renaissance? Are others more to your liking? It'll be interesting to hear. I never got to see them live. I'd love to hear from some of you out there whether you got to hear them live as well. It must have been a tremendous experience. Obviously, I've got the Carnegie Hall album, and well, that sounds so good too. But it must have been wonderful to be there or to see them live. I never got that opportunity, unfortunately. But there we go. We're still sort of sticking with prog, aren't we, on Have You Heard? But we shall, I guess, eventually move into other spheres of music. But there's so much stuff to listen to from the 70s, and I just really felt in the mood to listen to Annie Haslam. So there we go. Thank you very much for joining me. And please leave some comments below if anything you want to talk about regarding the band or the album, or perhaps things that you think are underrated that it might be worth listening to. If it's in my collection, then I'll play it. So all the best. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed hearing. I've got a few other videos out now that you can maybe look at and see what you think. Hopefully I'm getting a little bit better at this presentation thing. We shall see. But thanks very much for joining me on this video, and I really look forward to seeing you again soon. So all the best for now. Bye bye.